Hey everybody, welcome to DBS Films Podcast. It's just me and you, so that means it is a DBS production update. In these episodes, we give you a little behind the scenes look at where we are at as a indie film studio. And today the main recap is that we made it through Hurricane Ian. First off, just want to say, definitely thinking about those who are more affected, especially in the Fort Myers and Cape Coral area. They unfortunately bared the brunt of it. Here in Orlando, where DBS Films is located, we were able to get basically just tropical winds and rains. So we were able to brave through it for the most part. Libby, my dog, basically just had a little bit of extra love and care over the time, as she doesn't really love storms, but we basically made through it pretty much unscathed. Actually only lost power once, and that was like earlier this morning versus when the actual storm was hitting. So really good nonetheless that we were able to make it through there. I will say the one bit of update for that is we did have our Superfans event was planned for basically Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday basically got immediately canceled. Same thing with Friday. And now we're still going to have our Superfans event later today. However, everyone who is trying to fly in, which was a good number of people, are unable to make it because their flights were canceled. So I go ahead and I blame the person who picked those dates, which is also me. So I do apologize to everyone who was ready for it. I saw we got a lot of refunds, so hopefully it wasn't too much of a commitment when it comes to monetary loss. That would be a real stinker. But again, we are going to have many, many, many more superfan meetups, and I am excited for those that we're going to meet today. So that's kind of the major update when it comes to the hurricane side of things. Other than that, we are really right back on track when it comes to getting the shapeshifter up and out. It's still one of those things where like this is the gray area, the void of the post production. So I'm hoping like maybe a week or so we'll have another edit ready to go. But it's one of those things where we're getting ready for our newest feature, which is going to be taking place in a few weeks from now. So when you're listening to this is October 1st, we're looking at October 17th. So almost 2 weeks away before we start rolling on our next feature. So that's very exciting, but we still want to try and get Shapeshifter up and out. Still need to figure out what we're doing with the intro scene, if it's good as is. If we want to refilm it, we have to kind of see what the feedback looks like. Hopefully the feedback won't be too bad and we can kind of, roll right through it. If not, though, we will be looking at reshooting the intro. Coming off of that, we have The Haunted of the Murder House is still doing work on Tubi. We weren't quite able to climb up on Tubi as high as we thought, but we were kind of expecting that because we have a different type of deal with Tubi versus the deal that we have with The Girl in Cabin 13. And one of the things we were checking to see is if, Tubi does favor people that have one deal versus another deal, which is kind of what we're thinking, just the way that we're seeing it, because we're getting more support than ever from the super fans. More importantly, though, it is doing absolutely fantastic on Amazon. We're about to cross 200 reviews, which is a huge milestone. So thank you so much, DBS super fans. And then also we're eyeing a YouTube launch, which is something completely new, but I just believe that YouTube is going to be another really good channel for us. So have a lot in the mix when it comes to the Haunted in the Murder House, but we are doing really, really good on that front. And then lastly, let's talk about getting into the Forest 2.0. Really excited already with just a lot of the found footage buzz that we get from even the Haunted of the Murder House. The online Facebook group Found Footage is already super supportive of it. So again, thank you so much, Ashley, for showing us the way of found footage and even just calling it a hybrid found footage, which is a big stretch. It's working. People are loving it. People are saying, hey, we want to watch this movie, and that's just the Haunting of the Murder House. So once we do full found footage, we think we're going to get a really big base with that, and we'll kind of see how it goes from there. So we're excited for that. 2 weeks, we'll kind of start getting more stuff together when it comes to executing on the vision and making it happen. But really, that's kind of the major things for this episode. So let's go ahead. Let's hop into some of the questions that we have. This question is from Baby Girl 1991. Baby Girl, thank you so much for being such an amazing part of the Discord community already. You hopped right in, super supportive, watched like all of the movies like 5 times in a row, which is just super cool to see. And the question that you have is, what do you use for blood in the movies? Curious to know. I wish I had a better answer to this, just because, again, I have no clue personally because I'm not doing the special effects myself. With that being said, it is one of those things where I do have some slight idea, and my slightest idea is I know it has a lot of corn starch, like syrup, corn syrup. Yeah, corn syrup is what I'm looking for, and then also chocolate, and then also food dyes. So it is edible. It doesn't taste good, but it's typically like a mixture of like chocolate for like that dark color substance, and then different syrups to give it kind of like that thickness, and then usually like food additives like food coloring and things like that. Again, I'm probably butchering it. Massive apologies to Mackenzie. Our special effects. She usually just gives us like jugs of blood to go off of. But I do know it has some chocolate in it, and I do know that it has some like flavor, like red food substances. So that's the best that I know. Unfortunately, but that's the answer that you're going to get. Next question from Tina Lee. We absolutely love Tina Lee in the Discord. And her question is, as you guys mentioned in The Devil in the Room, the two leads were actually a couple in real life. Do you cast real life couples or two actors that at least have chemistry? If so, how do you test for chemistry? Absolutely fantastic, amazing question, Tina. You are so clever because we do. We try to. We've tried it a few times. I would say the varying results, the best results were in The Devil in the Room. But to be fair, they were the longest couple, and the other couple that we used, which was for the Whitlow house, they were a very, very fresh and new couple. So I don't really think you got the benefit from it. We honestly don't really have time to test for chemistry. We kind of hope they can have it. And you just kind of have to like put it in the actors, hands. The thing is like chemistry is really, really tough. It's just being comfortable with someone. And unless you actually are on set with someone, or actually doing work with someone, you simply don't have that experience. So you really can't fake chemistry. And I think you see it a lot. We do try to have it to where, they're already a couple. So it does a really good job. And Sky and Isaac, who are in The Devil in the Room, did a fantastic job. They were like 2-3 years a couple, I think, when they did this. They ended up getting married. So, I mean, like, that's kind of the best chemistry you were going to get just because of that. So I wish there was a better way for us to kind of test or do something like that, but not really. So great idea, though, in the sense that, great eye in catching that we do this and mention that because it is something that's huge. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to take a look at the movies we have online: The Haunted in the Murder House, The Haunted in the Murder House, The Girl in Cabin 13, and The Force are free on Tubi. You can find the rest on Amazon. Be sure to join our Discord channel because that is where all the fun happens. That is where we make movies for our fans or with our fans. So be sure to join that because we love to have you and we want to grow together, make more movies, and cast you in those movies. So until then, have a good one.